Hello, and welcome to today's message. I hope you're all well. This message that is coming through today is a bit of an intense one, and it's going to be for a very select group of people, so take what resonates, leave the rest. I was just journaling, sitting with the energies and what I've been going through today. I've been going through a process of something very intense recently, but I got these visions and I felt a need to share it with a collective. So the big thing I'm hearing is demolition expert, demolition supervisor. It's like you have been tasked with this, and you might not even know it, and you might have been uncomfortable with this role, but you have been tasked spiritually and energetically with the role of demolition expert. Demolition supervisor is what I'm getting. You may be somebody who has had to become very comfortable with darkness, death, and some of the more, it's very like Scorpio, just the very deep, dark, mysterious aspects of life that a lot of people are not willing to venture into, the unknown. You may feel more connected to this than most, or that kind of intensity might seem normal to you, where other people might come across that intensity and feel like, whoa, that's too much, or oh, you're too much. You might get that in life. I'm Scorpio rising with Pluto and Lilith in the first house, so you can imagine it's sort of like you feel like a walking, it's like you just kind of feel like a walking anomaly a lot of the time. You feel like a walking force of destruction to like systems and things that are not in vibration with you, but you don't even realize it a lot of the time. Your force and your magnetism and your power is very intense, and this is why you're very triggering. But it's because, again, you've been tasked with this sacred role of demolition supervisor, demolition expert. And I feel that this collective of people is getting to a point in life where they are starting to now see it. You're starting to step into your power. You have been working on, you know this about yourself, and you've been working on becoming more like owning it and knowing, okay, this is me. Other people have said I'm intense. Other people have said I am cold. I am detached. I'm hard to read. I'm all these things. But you're getting to a point where you're understanding why that can be your strength and how to use that as a strength to be of service.
Connected to Roland's MacBook Air.
That was very random. Connected to my MacBook Air. Interesting. Connected. Yeah, you're very, very connected to, like, the fact that just came out of nowhere too. Like, you're very connected to like psychic abilities. You're connected to hearing intuition. You're connected to really like listening to and hearing messages out of nowhere, seemingly, to the point that it could almost be like scary to other people. Other people might feel like you are almost like a witch, which you are. But it's not in a way where it's like, oh, cool. It's like, it actually frightens people how precise and accurate you can be. You might relate to having prophetic abilities too, prophetic dreams. But I want to get more into this demolition expert, demolition supervisor role. You maybe have avoided this part of yourself for a long time, but you know you're attracted to like darkness, death, unknown, mystery, these very intense parts of life that a lot of people are not willing to look into, but they are part of life nonetheless, right? The deep, dark ocean does not stop existing because people want to turn away from it. The vastness and unknownness of space does not stop existing just because people don't want to acknowledge that it exists. The deep subconscious, unconscious, intuitive waters that connect all of us and all of life do not stop existing just because people are uncomfortable with it. It's a very fixed sign kind of energy. And this is it's very Scorpio. So the vision I was getting when I closed my eyes is there's a tower, the Tower card in tarot, big tower energy in this collective. There is a tower, but you are no stranger to tower moments. You are no stranger to the tower crumbling in your own life. You are no stranger to watching the tower crumble time and time again. And it's been very uncomfortable for you. But this time, what I'm seeing is this is not your tower. This is a tower you're seeing, you're overseeing, and you're watching it in front of you. It's burning, it's crumbling, the rubble, the fires, the smoke and brimstone. It's a very intense scene. It's a very hellish scene. This dark tower is crumbled right in front of you. And it's like, I'm seeing that you're like up on this peak, this observation station, this observation plateau or spot, and you're just watching it with this very like King of Swords, Queen of Swords vibe, where it's just you're very cool, very detached, very deeply at peace, and just have a sense of the utmost like righteousness and justice over watching this scene unfold. You're seeing all this rubble, and you're just kind of observing and like surveying just all of the carnage that has taken place. And it seems as though the majority of this carnage has already taken place. Like the tower has crumbled, and you're just watching like the aftermath. But it's like your job isn't quite done yet. It's sort of like, again, you've been tasked with being the demolition supervisor. You've been tasked with overseeing and making sure that this job is complete and done right. It's very like, not like secret mission, but it's giving me like, yeah, like secret mission, like quest vibes in like the spirit world. So on the surface here in our reality, it might look one way to other people, maybe even yourself and your conscious mind, but like subconsciously and in the deeper realm, like this is a very sacred task that you are undertaker. That's significant. Like underworld, undertaker, like you are very much in, like you embody like a very like Hades kind of energy, where it's sort of like you are like tasked with handling these very like intense death moments, these intense moments of like, again, like that is Scorpio's, this is like a Scorpio reading, I guess. But it could be anybody. It could just be if you resonate with that energy. It's a very, like Scorpio does have that ability to master like death and rebirth and that whole process and overseeing it. And like I'm getting, Grim Reaper, Undertaker, like somebody has to do it. The vulture archetype is a big one too. Like these creatures and these beings that are tasked with like overseeing and kind of being like the guardians of the natural death process or the natural destruction and decomposition process is what I'm getting. So you are that. Very big responsibility. And I'm seeing that there's like an eagle spirit guide by your side here. So you could relate to air energy as well. This King of Swords, Queen of Swords, and eagle. And you're both like, you are here with that guide and you're watching. You're just making sure that this is finished. This task is complete. Now the next part of the vision is this tower is, you used to live in this tower with these people. This was a tower that you like felt was never, it was as sure to you and as comfortable to you as the air you breathe. It was never any, I don't even think you realized you were in a tower. I think you just thought this was life inside this tower with these people, with these situations. And at some point, obviously, because this tower moment happened, you realized that you didn't belong in this tower and that there was more for you, but these people might have tried to keep you in this tower, and these people decided to stay even though you were deciding to go, and they may have had a lot of problems. There may have been like power struggles, volatility, like again, this tower has crumbled. It was not a nice experience. So there could have been, I feel like, a lot of fight, volatility, like war. Again, Scorpio, Mars, Pluto, like war and destruction. But you've somehow managed to ascend out of the situation, even though it might have been a real fight and very messy. And that's what I'm hearing too. You don't have to be perfect. No one's ever perfect. These situations are messy. War, like destruction, is messy, no matter how much you try to control it. But I'm hearing that you have this gift of being able to be precise, and that you have, the same way a demolition expert, like a condemned building, for example, a building that is just old and condemned and has been sitting there for years, and it is long past due, it's dead, it's ready to be destroyed because it's becoming a hazard now to anyone else who would venture into this building or be around this building or the other structures around it. It's becoming a hazard and it needs to be taken down. But a demolition expert or supervisor is not just going to come in with the wrecking ball and just take the whole thing all in one, or just like light a match and burn the whole thing, because it could destroy what's around it as well. And it could cause a bigger problem. What I'm seeing is you have learned through this process how to strategically take this structure down piece by piece, the way that it is supposed to be taken down, in a way that is sacred, in a way that is whole, in a way that is in order with the natural process of life. Again, these creatures like vultures and the Undertaker and like Hades, just these natural ideas of entities and creatures that oversee this process in its natural order. Felt the need to take a big breath there. Yeah, you transmute these energies, and you felt very involved in this process. You were like, your energies were entangled in this tower, in this structure, but it's like you recognized that it was coming down, and you recognized that you needed to get out of it, and you did. You have. And it's like you're standing on the outside of it. You're safe, but it's like, because you went through this initiation process of like climbing down the tower, climbing out the window, scaling it, escaping it, like, there might have been people trying to block you in the hallways getting out, but you got out and you're out. And it's like, now you're taking that deep breath and you're like, okay, I'm safe. I'm okay. But these people, these other energies that have clung to the tower, or who really can't let go of this tower, or who have made themselves into the tower, that have entwined themselves there and have chosen that destiny, they cannot be allowed to recreate this tower. They cannot be allowed to bring anyone else into this tower either. Again, like I said, it's already condemned. The structure from within is rotted. And the other vision I got is like the wood, the stone, whatever this building is made of, it's rotted inside in the foundation and like in the structure. But it's like the keepers of this tower have like done like a surface level renovation, like a paint job, put on some new drywall, put out some new signs, but it's all surface, not showing the fact that the foundation and the structure is rotted and rotting. And so these people might be still trying to play the same cycle, the same game, and trying to draw and lure unsuspecting people into their system, into their game, into their energy. But it's like it's a siphoning energy now at this point, and it's not benefiting anybody. And it's like like swindler, thief, trying to just take down, like it's a very intense energy, because I feel like this other energy is also very like Scorpio, undertakery, and that's why you were part of it. You were in this tower because you were there to like learn, almost like, well, I just saw too what Harry Potter, like Professor Snape, like the mastery over the dark arts or whatever that is, or defense against the dark arts. Like you were there to learn defense against the dark arts, and to learn what the dark arts are, and to learn like the games and the way that it can be. But you were there not to become part of the people practicing the dark arts. You were there to practice, like you were almost like there as like a spy, like an inside job to learn it, but to then exit and have the knowledge so that you know how to combat it in your greater purpose. Yeah, that's the very high vibrational to me, like the highest potential of Scorpio energy is somebody who is immensely powerful and understands they have immense darkness and shadow and capability to be very dominating and destructive, but knows that if they channel that same energy into like life-giving and protection and serving justice, oh, my video is about to end here, then it's that awareness that brings them into their fullest potential to be a leader. Very powerful. What's going to be next? Is it going to be an ad? Okay, this might be a sign here.
Welcome to Old El Paso, where standing stuff shelves never topple, no matter how crowded your game night.
I don't have YouTube Premium.
Taco Tuesdays and Fajita Fridays, but there ain't nothing weak about weeknights.
Oh, that's part of the... Okay, that's part of the message. Okay, I've got it. Sorry, I'm going to skip this. Hold on, one sec. I got part of the message. Okay. Oh, we're getting into a root chakra healing here. Okay. That was the other part of the message. So I'm getting that there is a massive celebration for you and for completing this cycle and becoming now this role and taking on this sacred duty. The Morrigan, she's also very prominent here. The Morrigan crows, look into the Morrigan if you haven't. I feel she may be calling you. She may be here. And you may be one of her very strong warriors. But because you've taken this call, because you have done this work and you have not turned away, even when it's been hard, even when it's been challenging, I get the vibe that there's a huge celebration. Like it's just behind you. This celebration where all of your like guides, all your friends, your family, all those people who are close to you, like they're ready to celebrate. You're ready to celebrate and move into this really beautiful next cycle, into your true full purpose, because you also have this sunshine and this light, right? And that's the side of you too, to exude. And I get there's a very light, happy, like restful cycle coming, but it's just you are in charge right now, and you are being tasked with. I did this reading yesterday about like being on top of the mountain and being crowned as like a king or a queen, and you're finally taking on your responsibility and your role. Like I'm getting this as part of the role now, as you're standing at the top of the mountain looking down at this dark tower that has crumbled, that you were in, that you made the journey up the mountain away from and slayed the dragons and everything. And now it's just that you're just being tasked with being like a protector and just overseeing and making sure that this is final. There's not going to be any weird like, you know, I don't freaking know, like shapeshifter coming up out of the ashes and, you know, coming up the mountain kind of vibe. Like you're just making sure that this is final and that things are okay, settled, and then you're gonna move on to this giant kingdom feast celebration vibe with the Old El Paso ad, the tacos. That's my favorite food, so that was a sign for me. yeah, like I was getting, when I was channeling this, I was getting like, I was yawning a lot too, which, and feeling in my body just a need for rest. I feel that it's the end. It's almost like the nighttime routine, metaphorically. You're just putting the last little bits into place. You've already done all the hard work. It's just these last little bits, and then you can have your rest. You can have your slumber, your sleep, aka like just your rejuvenation, your period of time where I think there's going to be a lot of ease, a lot of just flow, like not feeling like you have to try too hard or make too much happen. I think a lot of things are going to just come to you again as a reward for standing firm and strong, showing that you have both sides to you. You can be in that receptive flow, but when it comes down to it, you can also stand strong and you can stand firm and know what is right and have the intuition and the discernment enough to know, okay, this is right, this is wrong, and to know when to make the right move, right? But yeah, that's really it. I wanted to pull a card maybe to see if there's any closing advice moving forward in the situation. I've been getting a lot of cards about triumph, justice, rejoice and celebration, material harvest, so that could be relevant. But I also want to see what's the advice, Spirit, for this collective of people watching this video moving forward out of this. What can they be aware of? What can be the next step here as they're sitting and observing, watching this tower, and making sure, overseeing this tower? Nothing wants to come out. Should I shuffle right up at the camera? Is that what I am supposed to do? Oh. Wisdom. Look at him looking too. So you see how he has this book in his hand. He's got his little companion too, his dog, just like your eagle. And he's looking down over at he's looking at the sunshine and the family in the house, right? But I feel like this here is kind of symbolic of, anyway, it's kind of like what I was saying, like just observing, you're watching, your face isn't facing like, it's so hard to explain this energy. It's like you are facing into right now, like that subconscious dark, like scorpionic realm, because you're supposed to be looking there to oversee it. You're not facing the light. You're not facing the light, or like just the vision I'm getting in my eyes, like it's like rivers, lush plants, like life. You're not facing that energy right now. You're still facing like that underworld. But again, it's like it's part of your task. It's part of your power. And I think this reading is to confirm for you, like if you're resonating with this, it's okay to be there and have peace there, because again, it's your sacred mission. So there's a lot of talk, about being in the light and being light, but I think there's just as much value sometimes in like the deeper you go into your purpose and your inner energy and light, the deeper you go into your consciousness, into your soul, you may realize not everything's so black and white, right? There's gray. I'm literally like, the way I'm sitting, I think this was intentional that I sat here with the left side of my face here dark and the right side is light. It's like, that's you. You have access to both sides, and spending time in either side is not bad as long as you're conscious and aware of it. So that wisdom is telling me, you know this. You have this knowing and this mission. I just split the deck, just trapped in fear, and you like, but then spiritual strength. So this energy here is hard to explain. It's very hard to explain because it's experienced. And if you're watching this, I think you're feeling, like you feel this energy where it's like your task is very different from most people to the point that it's almost hard to explain. It's hard to explain in an objective way in the light realm. It's hard to explain consciously because your task is to work in this like subconscious underworld realm right now, or it has been, and you're at the end of that cycle. And so I guess it's just like, if you take anything from this reading, I'm here and I get you. I'm in it too. And just like vultures and those beings like Hades can be overseen or can be seen as like villains or dark or weird or intense, or why are you doing that? Like, it's very necessary for the wheel of life. It's a very necessary part to play. To be brave enough to venture into the darkness, to have been brave enough to have been born into that darkness and to have made your way out of it, and to now see it and kind of like own it and be the ruler of it. You are now the ruler of the darkness, and not a ruler like of the darkness. Like, it's not like you are part of the darkness and it is ruling you. Like, you're not a ruler of that. You are a ruler over the darkness. You are a ruler and overseer, like a supervisor. Again, like you're like a steward of the darkness. Super interesting. A steward of darkness, because you have proven time and time again that you are willing to serve the divine. You are willing to serve a greater purpose. And it's like the divine has crowned you with this very, like, again, it's like one of the highest tasks. It's one of the highest responsibilities. And clearly, when you were coming into this life, the divine knew you were ready to fulfill this role. It's big. It's not just a simple, like, this is not just a simple task. This is something you have to be very precise with, and you have to really make sure that you are in alignment and serving something higher, because darkness and shadow is darkness and shadow. It's enticing. It's illusory. It's devil energy. It's very tempting. But to wield it for the greater good and to have the humility is just beautiful. There are no words. So, thank you for your service. And thank you for stopping whatever could have happened if that tower had been left standing, if you had stayed in that tower. Thank you for serving the greater good and the natural order, for answering the call. Even when it felt hard, your sacrifice is just, the ripple effect is more than you can possibly understand, and you will be rewarded to the highest order in time. And you know this, but I thought you should just hear it. So that's the reading. I love you lots, and I'll see you next time. Take care.